Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to make our final block for red and blue. Why do I keep saying red? I don't even know. Sorry about that. Our blue and green quilt. There's no red in it, guys. There's no red in it. I don't know why I keep saying it. This one's called Railroad Crossing. And for that, you're going to need 2 different greens and a white. Or whatever you choose. I chose 2 different greens and a white. So for white, I needed 1 7-inch square and 4 3.5-inch squares. And for one of the greens, I got a 7-inch square, and the other green I have 4 3.5-inch squares. So sorry about that noise. So first we're going to take our 3.5-inch squares, and I've already made one of these. We're just going to make a 4 patch, which will look just like this, because that's what 4 patches look like. So we're just going to sew them together, green and white and green and white. So we're going to head on over to the sewing machine. I say head on over, but it's really right next to where I just was. Like, it's literally right next to me. Grab our other one. This is the last one. And then I've been putting my border, my cornerstones in my border. I did a gray border with white cornerstones. So if you are making the same thing I'm making, all this fabric came from Walmart. And actually, I mostly bought, other than my border, which is the gray, and it's going to be the same color as the back. Other than that, I just bought fat quarters. I went and bought every green they had and every blue they had. And then I just picked and chose whatever I wanted. Like, I used them all. I think I used them all. I might have had several I didn't use. There was a lot more blue than green choices up there. So there are probably more shades of blue on this cover than there are greens. Greens probably have a lot more duplicates. So now we're just going to pin it opposites. I'm sorry, I forgot I was supposed to be telling you what I'm doing. Pin it opposite, so when you open it up, it's going to be opposite. We're just going to sew 1/4 inch down there. I'm not pinning at the beginning. It's a pretty small piece. And I think I can hold it steady. I do believe out of everything I've tried on here for sewing and getting a good seam allowance, a good 1/4 inch, this seam guide here is my favorite thing. I use the diagonal seam tape, but not so much for filming. I really like that. It works pretty well. Let's go back over and iron this open. And there you have it. Now we have 2 of those. Exactly the same. So this we're going to turn into half square triangles. Sorry, I had to consult my little book there. So we're just going to take our 7-inch squares. And now I do this a little, sorry, that's my little pin's just going to move it out of the way. I do this a little differently these days. So we're just going to line them up there. I'm going to pin half of it. There we go. Maybe. There we go. And then I'm going to cut down the other side. Oh, push that one over. We don't need to move it. Well, we might need to move it. Nope, it'll be fine. So then I'm just going to line it up corner to corner and cut it. Now we're going to pin this side. I like to pin one side first because then it doesn't move on me when I'm cutting it. And it just seems to work better. So we're just going to go So these straight down. And I do line it up right about here, right where the 1/4 inch is. I already feed the little point there past the needle, so it won't catch in there. It'll just start out catching the fabric. Grab the other one. Same thing. Put it in a little bit past the point to where it's at the 1/4 inch part. That one did fold back on me, but that's not a big deal because I don't need that point anyway. Alright, let's cut them apart and cut the starter off, and I'll meet you back at the pressing mat. There we are. Let's iron them open. Now we'll have to trim these down, but probably not by too much. Ooh, I hit that again. Sorry about that. Okay, so now these are 6.5 inches. I trimmed the first one. Let's just see. I trimmed the first one, but the second one, it's good enough. It's good enough. So we're going to trim these down to 6.5. So we're going to line up our diagonal as close to the edge as possible. You want to make sure there's still some around the edges there. See, that's really perfect right there. So we're going to trim off this side, and we really won't have any to trim off over there then. When we turn it around, we'll line up our 6.5 inch at the bottom. Right there. And our diagonal. And that will line up the lines there. And see, this one's just about perfect. And there you have it. Now let's do our other one. Let's move these so I can be over here a little bit better. Line up the diagonal as close to these two edges as possible. See, we barely got any off. Spin it around. Line up our diagonal again and our 6.5 inch dot at the bottom. And that lines up our other two lines just perfect. Move these to the side. I'll have to make another pillow or something to stuff. Maybe make one and donate to an animal shelter. I hear they like them. Alright, so now we're going to put our greens on the outside. Again, this is called railroad crossing. And we're going to put our greens, I guess, are like the railroad? I don't know. So that's how the block's going to go. So now we're just going to sew these two and these two. And I'm not going to pin it. I'm just going to hold it and we'll meet you at the sewing machine. Oh, my bobbin might run out of thread. I might have to change it in this video. Grab our other one, line it up. Now, if you're not comfortable enough with it, pin them. If you're good, don't pin. I'm pretty good with this size, but again, if you're new or, you know, it slips on you, by all means pin it. oven is getting pretty low. I might be able to make it. Let's cut it off. And I'll meet you back over there. We'll iron them open. Cut them apart too. I wouldn't have to because of the way I sewed them, but so we're going to iron these to the white because it's, well, because, no I'm not. I'm going to iron them this way. And that's because I don't want that to bunch up so much in the middle. We'll iron them both that way because then they will lay flat, well, as flat as they can. No, you got, actually, most of these blocks are like that. You have two of the exact same thing. So you're just going to flip one around and flip this down. And we will pin it at the middle, at the seam. We'll nest it and pin it. And at the end. And at the beginning-ish, I'm going to pin it right about here just to hold it steady. So let's go back over and we'll sew that up. Go ahead and pull that pin out, and I'm actually going to go ahead and cut this off, that way I don't have to do it in a little bit. Oh, y'all, you have no idea. I missed the last couple of stitches. Do you see it? Isn't that sad? That's alright though. Let's grab a new bobbin. Doesn't matter what color, I'm just using up stuff anyway. What are the odds? They're like 4 stitches. Get in there. There we go. Let's just go back a few. There we go. Cut it off. Now let's go iron it open. That'll be okay. We're just gonna iron it. I wouldn't have put bulk in the middle anyway. These were the ones that were going in the middle. Y'all probably yelling at me. There it is. Again, it is called Railroad Crossing. And I hope y'all enjoyed the tutorial. And I'll see y'all next time. Have a great day.